Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Good evening, everyone. In developing news, an emergency warning has just been declared for a fire near Fingal as an uncontrolled blaze edges closer to the town. Authorities have warned the fire will put the area at high risk tonight. Crews from across the state have been deployed, with the fire already ripping through more than 4,000 hectares of bushland.
Thick orange smoke blanketed the sky over Fingal. A bushfire reaching emergency levels last night. High temperatures and gusty winds providing ambient conditions for fire to rage. Lightning believed to be the cause of the major bushfire. Residents in the danger zones evacuating to nearby centres with little more than the clothes on their backs. For one family, an afternoon out turned into despair, unable to retrieve their pets.
We were all in tears, sitting in the car. Couldn't contain ourselves, I guess. We went to the beach, left them for an hour, and we weren't allowed back to get them.
Tears of desperation turned into tears of joy. Firefighters reuniting the family with dogs Cosmo and Charlie, and Spiky Martin, the budgie. But it was no easy task.
Visibility was down to maybe 50 metres, 70 metres. Very smoky, very hot. There was many spot fires all around many houses. It was, touch and go on many occasions.
Some residents in the town of Fingal choosing to defend their homes. Firefighters concerned by embers in the area.
For this particular area at Fingal, ember attack has been the biggest consideration. We've had a lot of reports of embers being sort of driven into the township here, and local crews have had to put out quite a few ember attacks here.
For Bill Eckhart, he knows all too well how fire can destroy a home. Losing his house to a structure fire 5 years ago, Bill was left with nothing.
God willing, the wind will drop off, and with a bit of luck it might just burn itself on the other side of that range out. That's wishful thinking, of course, but I mean, there's not much else you can do.
Thankfully, the rain came, helping to ease conditions.
It's a very welcome relief. Yeah, we've to get this rain here has been very good. Not just for the fire either. This area hasn't had a lot of rain in recent time. We've got very dry conditions. But for the fire crews on the ground today, that's a very welcome sight to get a bit of rain.
60 personnel remain on the ground today, and a cool change is providing a reprieve. But residents are still unable to return home as blazes continue to burn.
We know how we're going to tackle them, and the incident management teams apply those tactics with the resources. We will contain these fires.
Residents are being urged to monitor the TFS website. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
To fires raging in the upper Derwent Valley now. It's been an anxious 24 hours for communities, with several structures destroyed. But despite easing conditions near Pelham today, authorities say the danger is far from over.
Fire roars through paddocks. This was the scene awaiting firefighters on the front line at Pelham last night, battling an emergency blaze as it closed in on properties. Near Hobart, temperatures of up to 40 degrees fanned flames nearly 30 metres high. Crews rushing to spot fires over a kilometre away from the main front.
Almost instantaneously, we had no control over it because of the inaccessible vegetation that it was in. The smoke has made it difficult for the aircraft to operate, especially when you've got a large number of aircraft operating. They have to be mindful of one another.
Many residents could only watch on. An evacuation centre set up at Bridgewater.
Some people had to shelter in place because it was sort of too late to get them out. People further down the road in the Bluff Road area were evacuated early.
Over 1,300 hectares and numerous structures have been destroyed in the Pelham area, with lightning the likely cause of ignition. Back on the fire grounds this afternoon, crews still have a lot of work ahead of them, with flare-ups a major issue.
Contain existing fires and complete our damage assessments. We'll seek out and extinguish any lightning ignitions that we haven't picked up yet, and then we'll transition the community to recovery.
Crews and property owners rushed to the scene of this one just outside Elderslie this afternoon, quickly bringing it under control. the TFS confirming damage to structures, but the full extent remains unclear.
It's a handful at the moment is what I've got in initial reports. Crews saved a significant number of structures there last night, which I'm pleased to report.
With more than 400 lightning strikes hitting the ground last night, crews today making the most of cooler weather.
Temperatures across the state are in the low 20s. The wind's a little bit fresh at times, but not as strong as yesterday.
If fires pop up, we want people to report them because we aren't sure that we've got them all detected and extinguished yet.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
With New Year's Eve celebrations starting to kick off across the state, Tasmanians are getting prepared to celebrate the year that was in style. For event organisers, today was spent putting the finishing touches on their festive plans, while police are gearing up for one of their busiest nights of the year.
Doing their final checks on a fireworks display, set to bring in 2020 with a bang. Alan Spiegel has spent months preparing to light up the Hobart sky this New Year's Eve.
Big spectacular show for 9:30 and midnight, something for everyone to see, and a few new colours, a few new shapes and sizes and all sorts of things. It is the biggest show we've done down here for New Year's Eve.
This barge has been carefully packed with more than 8,000 individual sparks, ready to delight those celebrating the new year on the waterfront, carefully prepared with a unique soundtrack.
And the midnight fireworks, we are going really big with Australian iconic power ballads from the 70s, 80s, 90s up to today.
More than 5,000 people are expected to watch the display from the Taste, offering a Tasmania-only entertainment lineup across their stages.
68 local artists from across the state, and actually they were rehearsing first thing this morning. They are getting so nervous and so excited to perform to their hometown. It's awesome.
Preparations are also underway for Beerfest in Launceston, with organisers expecting more than 10,000 people to pack Royal Park tonight. But Tasmania Police is reminding people to celebrate responsibly, ramping up patrols to stamp out any antisocial behaviour. Authorities out in full force across the state, with random breath testing stations and officers at major events.
It's a time to spend with family, friends and loved ones, but we're also reminding people to be safe, drink responsibly, look out for your mates and ensure that you've got a safe travel home.
Wishing everyone a happy but safe start to 2020. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
In breaking news, the Tasmania Fire Service has just confirmed one home has been destroyed in the Pelham fire. Authorities in the Upper Derwent Valley have revealed impact assessments are still being undertaken and that number may increase. The fire remains at a watch and act alert level tonight, with uncontained spot fires still being extinguished. A community meeting will be held at the Broadmarsh Community Hall at 7 o'clock tonight for residents in the Pelham area. Investigations are continuing after a number of firearms and ammunition were allegedly stolen from a Perth property overnight. Police are now searching for 2 men seen in the Drummond Street area just after midnight. They've described both males as having a skinny build, about 170 centimetres tall, and one carrying a Hessian sack, and urge anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Victorian vessel Vertigo has officially taken out the overall top spot in the 2019 Launceston to Hobart yacht race. A crew of Victorian and Tasmanian sailors were presented with their winning trophy today after a hard-fought battle across the line. The team were neck and neck with rival boat Heatwave for most of the journey down the east coast before taking a strong lead at Storm Bay.
Then we sort of got across to the left, and that's where the sea breeze built from, so we had a crazy run in under Spinnaker up the river, which was quite spectacular. It was really good fun. Yeah.
It's the 13th year of the 285 nautical mile race down Tasmania's eastern coastline. Meanwhile, French yacht Lord Jiminy took line honours in the Melbourne to Hobart. Jeff Sloane's Archie has been declared the provisional winner. Police have arrested and charged a 21-year-old Gardners Bay man after he allegedly reversed his car into an officer during a traffic stop, knocking him to the ground. It's alleged the man then tried to reverse into the constable a second time before driving off. The officer was taken to hospital following the incident, which occurred in the Huon Valley early on Christmas Day. The man has been charged with multiple offences, including aggravated assault and evade police.
The Hobart Hurricanes have had a frustrating 4-run loss to the Melbourne Stars under the Duckworth-Lewis method at UTAS Stadium last night. The new wicket clearly suited the bowlers, with most batsmen struggling to find a foothold. It was showtime for UTAS Stadium's new playing surface, and it produced a wicket before a run.
Oh, there it is. The nick's on the way through and he's gone.
Scoring shots trickled from the next partnership as players adjusted to an untried wicket. The lively pitch claimed a second casualty.
Hanscom's going to be underneath this. Simple catch for the keeper.
At 2 for 24, the Hurricanes' prospects darkened, much like the sky. Lightning struck, the covers came on, cameras abandoned, fans ducked for cover. The forecast still gloomy when play resumed.
Oh, he's gone for him there. He didn't get all of it. It's up in the air for a long time.
Dale Steyn gets a breakthrough. That's a big wicket.
But the rain returned with a vengeance. Umbrellas drawn, hand towels on heads.
He's worried about his hairdo.
Others soaked it up. When play resumed again, David Miller came and went for a duck. Caleb Jewell was right behind the Canes 5 for 69 from 11 overs. More wickets tumbled when the Stars took to the crease. James Faulkner with a first over double.
Oh, is there bat in that? No! He's going to be on a hat-trick.
The celebration a little too enthusiastic for Riley Meredith, but he had plenty to smile about a few overs later.
It's up in the air. It'll be a good catch. And Miller takes it.
Rain would put the final nail in the Canes' coffin. The Stars declared winners by 4 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis method. Next up is the Brisbane Heat at Blunston Arena on Friday night. To the rest of the day's sport news now, and the first New Year's Eve edition of the Burnie Carnival is now underway at West Park. The main events will take place a little later tonight, with the wheel finals scheduled for just after 7 o'clock, followed by the feature wood chopping title, the gift races and the mile, where Stuart McSwain will be running off scratch. In another first, the women's wheel and gift will have the same prize money on offer as the men, and we'll bring you all the results tomorrow night.
Good evening. Launceston record the state's top temperature today, reaching 24 degrees. 23 in both Hobart and Devonport, while Burnie reached 22. 23 at Friendly Beaches and Maria Island, Flinders Island, Smithton and St Helens 20. Ouse 21, 18 Strawn and only 15 in Lyawini. Low level cloud about the west and south today, smoke from mainland fires and a thick cloud band off the east coast. Mid to high level cloud band near eastern Victoria and down into the southern ocean. Thunderstorms can also be seen in tropical parts of Australia and off the South Queensland coast. Tomorrow there is a high over southern Australia, a series of cold fronts sit over the Bight. West to northwesterly winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the south and southwest. Seas reaching 2.5 metres. A strong wind warning is current for southern and western coastal waters from Tasman Island to Sandy Cape and for the southwest lakes. Becoming cloudy in Hobart tomorrow, 23. A possible shower in Geeveston, 22. Bothwell partly cloudy and 21. Partly cloudy and 22 in Launceston. Devonport 21 and cloudy and partly cloudy and 23 in Cressy. Burnie 21, partly cloudy, showers 19 in Strawn, and Curry partly cloudy and 20 there. Partly cloudy for both St Helens and Swansea, 24. Alford becoming cloudy and 23. The UV across the state is very high 10s and extreme 11s. Looking ahead to Thursday, fine apart from light morning showers about the west and far south. Friday mostly sunny, and fine apart from showers about the west and far south on Saturday. And sunny day in Perth tomorrow, 30 degrees, 35 in smoke haze in Canberra, Brisbane 31 and partly cloudy, 26 degrees in Sydney, and in Melbourne sunny and 24. Here's a look at current conditions around the state. That's all your weather for the last day of 2019. Back to you, Louise.
And that's all your news for now. We'll leave you with a look back at some of our team's lighter moments of 2019. From all of us, thank you for watching this year. We hope you have a happy and safe evening. Good night.
What had happened.
And we'll have more from the southern...
Hey, Joe.
Can you not look at me?
Rachel, I've organised some great weather for our weekend activities. Golf for me and the beach for you.
Yeah, so don't go losing your balls, Merv.
Where do I hold it?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah.
Slowly release the clutch. Slowly. Slowly. Yeah, really slowly.
Called it Ranelagh, and there are plans to... Oh! Joe will actually... Listen. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling.
What are you doing?
I didn't mean to freak you out. I was just practicing.
Yes.
Sorry.
Slowly.
14,000 hectares in size. I tried.
Slow. That's it. That last bit.
My mama makes me mash my mini M&Ms on a Monday morning. Ooh, ah.
As it starts to release, just accelerate a bit.
Hello again, Dunalley, Fingal, Friendly Beaches, Ooze.
A little bit of throttle. Yeah, right. No trouble here. A little acceleration, that's all right.
Louise.
Ow, that went in my ear. Ow!
Louise, I love you, I love you. You think it's a bit funny?
Yeah. Well, you're telling me I'm choking it now. It's like it's just a difference of...
St Helens our top today with 19 degrees. Launceston not far behind on 18.
Slow on there. Yeah. As soon as it starts to go.
Michael, I never thought I'd see such a grown man so frightened. Put it on film.
I'll have more news for you in around an hour's time.
I need to tell everyone at home not to adjust your sets. Yes, that is the actual colour of Joe's jacket. That's better.
Last time I wore it, you called me a liquid all sort.
I'm being calm. I'm being calm. I'm being really
You're being
calm.
very... Ah! Sorry. Ah! Squashing real hard.
And Joe tonight is doing the old something new, something old thing, everybody. Her daughter Lily's back and she's wearing Lily's earrings and she's coupled that with her great aunt's old frock. Good to see that you've got the family involved, Joe.
If you're not pulled off air for that, I don't know what will happen. Go home, Merv. Thank you very much. That's all from us for now. We'll see you a bit later. Bye.